Hi, David. My name is Sarah, and I'm going to be talking to you today about um, about some of the reasons that you're here, and just going over some paperwork mostly today. But I will have to ask you some questions. Some of them can be a little personal, but it will help me to understand why you're here and what's been bothering you and what kind of help I can be to you. So, just try to answer as honestly as you can. Before we get started, I do need to go over a couple of things. Everything that you tell me is to be kept confidential, which means I cannot just discuss it with anyone. If there is someone that you want me to talk with about your treatment here, such as a doctor or your wife or somebody like that, I would have you sign a release of information for me to be able to talk to them. But if at some point you tell me that someone has hurt you or that you've been abused or that you are going to hurt someone or that you want to hurt someone or that you want to hurt yourself, in those situations I would be obligated to tell someone or encourage you to seek further treatment. In the case that you wanted to hurt yourself or something like that, you might need to go to the hospital. So those are the situations where I am obligated to report in cases of abuse or that you're going to hurt yourself or someone else. Does that make sense?
Yeah, sure, that makes sense.
Okay. So can you tell me your name, please?
Dave Boyle.
Okay, so do you prefer to be called Dave?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I've got on here it's David, but I know to call you Dave. What's your address, Dave?
800 Cedar Street, Boston, Mass.
Okay. And do you have a phone number?
555 555 5555.
And what's your birthday?
January 1st, 1978.
Okay. And your social?
222 22 2222.
Okay. And you're married, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. I need to get information about all the people that live in your home. Can you tell me who lives in your home?
There's my wife, Celeste Boyle.
Okay. And how old is your wife?
37.
Okay. And anybody else?
My son, Michael.
How old is Michael?
Michael's 8.
Okay. Okay. And where do you work?
Boston Granite.
Boston Granite. Is that the quarry?
Yeah, that's the rock quarry.
Okay. Do you enjoy your job there?
Yeah, it's okay. It's a living. I mean, I don't really care one way or the other. I don't hate it.
Okay. Okay. And I need to get an emergency contact. Who would you want to be your emergency contact?
I guess you could put Celeste down.
Okay. And does she have a phone number?
Same one, 555 555 5555.
Okay. Alright. Do you have a primary medical doctor?
No, I don't go to the doctor.
Well, what do you do if you get sick?
I just sleep it off. It's
Okay.
never been that big of a deal.
Okay. So do you get sick very often?
No, not really.
Okay. Do you have any other behavior health specialists, like a therapist or psychiatrist that you see?
No, I don't see anybody.
Okay. Now I need to know a little bit about why you are here today and why you feel like you need services.
I don't really feel like I need them. My wife Celeste, she wanted me to come. Uh, I guess maybe I've been stressed out lately. Been fighting a lot with my wife. She says I'm getting angry. Um, she said I need help.
Okay. Any particular reason why you have been fighting more? Has it increased lately? The fighting or the anger?
I don't know. I've been thinking about stuff that happened a long time ago. Some guy I grew up with from my neighborhood's been hassling me a lot, and it's brought up some stuff that happened. But I mean, it's not a big deal.
Okay. So a guy you grew up with has been hassling you? Oh,
Yeah, I've kind of been having flashbacks about some stuff that happened when I was little, and Jimmy from my neighborhood, he his daughter died last week, and I've just been seeing a lot more of him, and I don't really like the guy.
okay. So his daughter passed away, and you've kind of been around maybe to be supportive, and you're just not real crazy about the guy?
Yeah.
Okay. Now you said you've been having flashbacks. When did these flashbacks start happening?
I mean, I guess I've always had them since I was younger, but anytime I'm really stressed out or maybe had a bad day at work or something, maybe let my guard down a little bit, I'll have them more often. Yeah, maybe I've been a little bit more stressed out lately, so it's been happening more and more.
Okay. And did you say these flashbacks are about something that happened in your childhood? Is that correct?
Yeah.
So you've always had them. Let me make sure I've got this correct. You've always had the flashbacks, but you've been having them more recently.
Yeah.
Okay. How recently? Are we talking in the last month they've increased, or the last couple weeks they've increased, or last week or so?
In the last week.
Okay. Now, with flashbacks, sometimes you can have them when you're under stress, but other times there can be what's called triggers, whether it's a familiar person or a familiar place that you might be around or you might see, and that can kind of trigger these flashbacks to occur. Have you has anything happened that might have triggered these flashbacks in the past week?
Yeah, I guess so. I was walking Michael home from school the other day, and we took a detour and we walked past the street that I grew up on.
Okay. And that's not a neighborhood you typically go through?
No.
What happens when you have these flashbacks? Can you tell me how they make you feel or what emotions you feel when you have the flashbacks?
They make me feel angry.
Okay.
I guess sad, lost.
Is this why your wife has been worried about you because of these flashbacks you're having and the emotions that you're having?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe I've been a little bit more distant.
Okay.
When she tries to talk to me about it, I just get pissed off.
Okay. All right. Okay, so we're going to talk about the symptoms that you've already kind of been telling me about, but I'm just going to repeat them so that way I make sure I get them down correctly, okay?
Okay.
So you've been having flashbacks. And how often are you having these flashbacks? In the past week, since they've increased, how often?
At least once a day.
Okay. And when they happen, do you feel like you can function, or do they kind of, can you get through it, or they just kind of stop you in your tracks and you feel like you can't get on with what you're doing?
Yeah, sometimes they just kind of make me freeze up and lose control.
Okay. And you've been having some anger, correct?
Yeah.
How often would you say you feel angry in the past week?
I guess maybe I've been a little bit more touchy. I mean, probably once a day.
Okay. And that's causing arguments with your wife. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And you said that you have been more withdrawn. Is that something I should write on here?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I don't
Or
really.
distant? I think you said distant.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I don't really tell Celeste my personal business anyway, but
So that's normal for you.
yeah.
Okay. So you also told me that when you have these flashbacks, that you have feelings of sadness. So is that, I could put that on here? Because that's not normal
yeah.
for you, correct? That's not something that's normal for you.
No. Yeah. Yeah, you can put that down.
Okay. And how frequent are these feelings of sadness in the past week?
I mean, I guess it matches up with any time I have any flashbacks.
Okay, so about once a day?
Yeah.
And is this causing any impairment in your ability to function on a daily basis?
No, I mean I still go to work and everything.
Okay.
I might be drinking a little bit more, but
Okay.
just to help me sleep.
Okay. Now I'm going to ask you some questions that include if you might be a risk to yourself or others. Okay.
Okay.
Have you had any suicidal thoughts? We'll say in the past week, since that's when your troubles seem to have gotten worse. Okay. Have you had any suicidal thoughts in the past week?
No.
Okay. All right. Now, next question. Any homicidal thoughts, like you want to hurt others?
No. I mean I get pissed off, but I'm not gonna hurt anybody. I mean I don't hit my wife or anything.
Okay, so but you do get angry with people, but you're not going to hurt them.
No.
How often are you getting angry with other people in the past week?
I guess anytime they try to bug me about my personal business. I mean, me and Celeste have been arguing a lot lately.
So you've been angry with her.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you tell me about any medical medical problems that you have or have had in the past?
None.
You're generally healthy?
Yeah.
Okay. I see that your hand is hurt. You've got a bandage on it. Can you tell me what happened to your hand?
Yeah, some guy tried to mug me the other night.
Okay. And how did your hand get hurt?
He tried to cut me with a knife, but I got in my car and ran off.
So his knife cut your hand?
Yeah.
Did you report this to the police?
No, I figured they wouldn't be able to find the guy anyway. He looked like a vagrant.
Okay. Did he get any of your I mean, you said you were being mugged, so did he successfully get any of your belongings or
No, I managed to get away from him.
how long ago did that happen?
About a week ago.
Okay. Did you see anybody for your hand or did you just
No, I just wrapped it up at home.
Okay. Okay. Do you have any allergies to anything? Any foods, any medications?
No, not that I know of.
Okay. Are you currently prescribed any psychotropic medications?
No, I don't really take anything.
Are you taking anything over the counter that could be just over the counter medicine like Tylenol, ibuprofen, allergies, or even vitamins?
I mean, I might take some aspirin when I have a headache, but
Okay.
I don't take anything regularly.
Okay.
I don't see the point in vitamins. I mean, I eat.
Do you eat pretty healthy? Like you get enough of the different kinds of food?
Yeah, Celeste cooks okay.
Okay. Okay, and you said you haven't seen any, you've never seen any therapist or psychiatrist or anything like that before, correct?
Right.
But you did mention that you drink some, and that's increased lately. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I mean, I drink pretty much every night. I might go to the bar by work after I get off work, or maybe have a few when I get home before I go to bed. Um, and I guess I've drank a little bit more now that I've been more stressed out lately, but
Okay.
I mean, I'm not doing anything crazy. I'm not breaking any laws.
Okay. Is your wife concerned about your drinking?
Yeah, maybe, but she shouldn't be. It's fine.
You never had to be hospitalized for any mental health issues, correct?
No.
Okay. Okay. Now, I need to ask you about your parents when you were growing up. Did your mom or dad have any mental health issues that you know of?
No, I don't think so. Not that, not that I know of.
Okay. Um, so, are your parents still alive?
My mom is. I mean, my dad. I don't know. For all I know, he could be dead. He left when I was a little kid.
Okay. How old were you? Do you remember when he left?
I think I was 6.
Okay.
From what I remember, he used to drink a lot. Um, I think he probably hit my mom quite a bit.
Okay. So you remember when you were little, when your dad was around, he liked to drink, and sometimes he would hit your mom.
Yeah.
I guess is that why he left? Probably.
Yeah, probably. Mom never really talked about it too much.
Okay.
She never really talked about much of anything. I think she was just worried about raising me. She didn't have any friends or anything.
Okay. And so you said your mom didn't talk much?
No, she was always pretty quiet in the neighborhood.
Okay, she didn't have many friends?
No, not that I remember.
Okay. Is there anyone in your family or friends that you consider a support system if you were to ever need anything?
No, I don't really worry about stuff like that. I mean, I've got friends from work that, that I might go to the bar with after work, and, I've got my wife, but I keep my personal business personal.
So even if you were having a hard time, you probably wouldn't tell anybody.
No, you don't talk about that stuff with your friends. That's what queers do.
Okay. Okay. Have you ever been in any trouble with the law?
No, nothing serious. I mean, me and my friends, we were punk kids. We did stupid stuff, but never been to jail or anything.
Okay. All right. I want to talk a little bit more about any kind of substance abuse history with you. Do you use caffeine, like drink sodas or coffee?
I mean, I drink coffee in the morning before work. I might have a soda with my kid or something.
So you probably drink say one serving of caffeine a day.
Yeah.
At least. Okay. Do you smoke cigarettes or use tobacco?
No.
Okay, and you said you drink. I know you said you drink every day, but could you tell me about how many alcoholic drinks you have a day?
I don't know, 3, 4, 5.
How long have you been drinking alcohol? When did you start?
I guess since I was maybe a teenager.
Okay. And have you had anything to drink today?
No.
Do you use marijuana?
No. I might have tried it a couple times in high school, but no, I don't use it anymore.
Okay. What about narcotics or opiates?
No, I don't do anything like that.
Amphetamines?
Is that like crank?
Yeah.
No.
Cocaine?
No, that's rich people stuff.
Okay. Or hallucinogens?
No, never tried.
Okay. All right. Well, now I want to go back and talk a little bit more about what the flashbacks are about. I know that it is kind of a personal question, but it is important for me to understand if there's been some trauma in your life, kind of what type of trauma that might be, so that way I can help you and find ways to help you overcome it and get these flashbacks under control and get these other symptoms that you're having under control.
All right. Well, it's just some bad stuff that happened when I was a little kid.
Okay. When you say little kid, how old?
About 12 years old.
Okay. And I guess did something happen in the neighborhood that you grew up in? Because you said you walked through your neighborhood and.
Yeah, it did.
Okay. Well, just tell me a little bit more about what happened.
Well, me and two of my buddies I grew up with, Jimmy and Sean, we were playing street hockey out in the street, and we lost our last ball down the storm drain. So we got bored, and we saw some wet concrete on the sidewalk and decided to write our names in it. And right when I was writing my name in it, this car pulled up, and this guy got out of the car and flashed his badge, so obviously he was a cop. And he said we were breaking the law. And I was the one drawing in the concrete when he pulled up, and he told me, "Hey, I'm taking you to the police station to have your mom come pick you up." Jimmy and Sean just stood there. They didn't say anything. I don't think any of us knew what to do. So the cop put me in the back of the car, and there's this old man sitting in the back of the car. And I remember he had a ring on that had a cross on it. I figured maybe he was a priest or something. And so they started driving me down the road, and I noticed we're not going towards the police station. And they ended up taking me back to this house, and they had me locked in their basement for, it must have been 3 days. And
Okay.
they had their way with Davy for 3 days. Wolves did whatever they wanted, but Davy ran away, and I don't think they ever caught him.
You don't think they ever caught the men that took you?
I never heard of them doing it. I found my way back to my house, and my mom called the police, but I didn't really tell them too much. I was kind of embarrassed, and they knew I was kidnapped, but they couldn't really figure out a way to find out who kidnapped me.
Okay. So it sounds like you endured some pretty significant abuse by these two men that took you. Have you ever told anybody about this? I mean, besides obviously your friends knew and your mom, knows, but have you ever told anybody about what happened? Like your wife? Have you ever told her?
No, that's none of her business. She doesn't need to worry about that stuff.
Okay. Do you think if she knew about it, she would be supportive of you, or do you feel like she would think of you differently?
Maybe, I don't know. I mean, maybe she would think of me differently. Maybe she would be supportive. I don't know.
Okay. All right. Well, I know that you told me before that you don't have a medical doctor, and a lot of times when people come to us for treatment, it's really important that we make sure that they have seen a doctor to make sure that there's no medical issue, underlying medical issue that could be interfering or making these flashbacks worse or something like that. Would you be okay with seeing a doctor if I gave you like the name and number of one?
Sure, if you think it'd be best.
Okay. And how do you feel about seeing a psychiatrist who would evaluate you and determine whether or not medication would be beneficial?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I think that's what Celeste wants, so sure, if it'll make everybody happy, that's fine.
So you think she wants you to take medication?
Yeah, probably.
And I'm not a doctor, so I can't tell you whether or not you need medication, but the doctor, you'll see them and they will evaluate you and they will make that determination. And you may not need medication, but it can't hurt to just go and find out. Okay?
Yeah, sure.
And I can give you the name and number of a good primary care physician and a good psychiatrist. Let me look through here and make sure I've got everything that I need. Okay. So, what do you say if we schedule another visit maybe in like a week?
Okay, sure.
And in that time, you can go ahead and schedule your appointments with these other two doctors that I give you the numbers for, and then when you come back next week, you can let me know when those appointments are for. How about that?
Okay, yeah, that'd be fine.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna walk you up front and get my schedule book, and we'll schedule for next week. Okay?
All right, great.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.